Let's try that again. Hey everyone, Stephen Britton here. I am now live. I'm coming to you from Cayuga, Southern Ontario, small little town, middle of nowhere. And well, we're supposed to be covering the total eclipse of the sun today. And as of right now, well, as you can probably see, it doesn't look good. Well, I'm going to hang for a little bit and hopefully the sun clears. We did have a brief view of the sun a few moments ago, but it wasn't so, what was it really that exciting? There wasn't really that much to see. So we'll have to have a look again and see. Oh, oh, I think we might have a little bit of sun coming through the my solar camera there, sun camera. So let's see what happens here. There we go. There's the view of the sun. And oh, there it is too. And you're about to go behind the cloud bank here. Let's throw the eclipse glasses on my camera. Maybe we can see it better that way. Or not. Oh, there you go. Nice black screen. So there goes that idea. All right, we'll just have to do it the boring way. Oh, it's losing the connection there. So, which is interesting since it's hardwired to the computer here. Ah, there we go. So now we don't have anything yet. There's going to be another 13 minutes before we have any indication of any kind of eclipse happening. So while we're doing that, maybe I'll try and get that camera a little bit more zoomed in for us here. So while we're talking away here and while we're waiting, hopefully we get some people here online watching at some point in time. Because that'll be kind of boring if it's just me talking to myself. No, that's a bit better. Here we go. Here's a better view of the sun. Put my glasses over the front there. See what we get. Oh, there we go. Now you can see the sun through the eclipse glasses. And we are rolling, my friends. So here we are, Southern Ontario, scene of the eclipse, and a bit of luck and a bit of cooperation with the sky gods. We'll have a nice total eclipse of the sun that we can all enjoy here as time passes. I'm just going to zoom the camera in a little bit more. There we go. Part of the problem is I can't see the computer screen here. So we'll just have to take it for as read that you can all hear me fine. And we'll just play it by ear. So I want to say hello to everyone over there on Locals, everyone who's joined me here. We've got three different places that we're going to be looking at the eclipse from. I want to say hello to everyone over there on Locals. Okay, we can actually hear me through Locals as well. That's good. So we are watching the sun with clouds in front of it. Got a very nice, interesting ring around the sun there. I think that's just an illusion with the shade that I have on the glasses. Let's put on my sunglasses here. And, well, there's a few clouds there in the sky, so we'll have to see if it continues to cooperate or if it's going to argue with me and see if it gets any better or any worse. I'm going to send out a quick message onto the site formerly known as Twitter. I do believe. So I'm just going to be fairly quiet because I'm not really feeling that talkative just at this moment here. But as they get closer to totality, hopefully we'll have a cooperation here with good old Mother Nature. Won't be saying anything nasty to Mother Nature today. With a bit of luck, Mother Nature will cooperate with us. And we'll get a very nice, we'll give our eyes a good time. So don't worry about the silence. I'm just keeping it fairly quiet and low key here. But couldn't ask for Mother Nature to be nicer and more cooperative. So okay, that's YouTube. Let's send out one for my Rumble audience. I've lost my mouse pointer. There it is. Hey, look at that. There's my cute little mug on the screen here. Okay. All right. And it's that other camera of mine's being a little temperamental right now. Well, we've still got coverage here. We've got things working, so. Oh, that helps. This is while what you're seeing there is me adjusting the camera. So we'll switch over to the other screen to make it a little bit more palatable for you, because otherwise it'll be bouncing around and really horrible. We still don't have any contact of the moon with the sun yet, because we don't start for another 3 minutes, in fact. So we've got 3 minutes to the eclipse, and then the fun really begins as the moon very slowly and gradually will come across the face of the sun, and at around 3:15, give or take a few minutes, p.m. local time, that's Eastern time for those of you who are curious, that's when we should have totality. And this is good. And of course, there's always danger in a solar eclipse. You never want to look directly at it without eye protection. That's why I'm putting a shade over the camera on my phone here, because you don't want to blow out the lens. And it's just being temperamental right at this moment. So we'll get that fixed, and then we'll and once the totality hits, then for the few minutes, we're going to get about 3 minutes of totality here. But the eclipse is safe to look at just for those 3 minutes. You want to be looking away from the sun by the time the moon moves away and the sun is even just a little bit uncovered again, because even just a little bit of sunlight will damage your eyes. And when the sun is partially obscured like that, then you run the risk of getting blinded because your eyes aren't adjusted properly for the sun in that particular situation. Oh, guess what? I think, if I am not mistaken, we might be about to experience first contact, my friends. Any moment now, another minute or so, we should be seeing our first indications that the moon is starting to cover the sun. In fact, not just yet, but coming close. Of course, if you are watching, please make sure that you do the usual: like, share, and subscribe, and head on out there into the real world and share this stream far and wide. Let's get some people watching. So I'm gonna have to shut the sun camera off for just a minute here, but we'll get that fixed up right away. We'll do that, and then we're gonna do that. And this is just because my phone has become unlinked with with one of these, a site that I'm on. So I'm just gonna have to fix that. There it is. And there we go. We're just scanning. There we go. Okay. So once again, we're gonna throw the sunglasses, the Eclipse glasses, back on the phone here, and hopefully our eyes are gonna get a bit of a treat today. And I think we're probably into an eclipse at this point. There we go. Up there somewhere in those clouds is a star 93 million miles away. Of course, right now, the fact that you can't see the darn thing is a real annoyance. But I do have, one second. Ah, guess what? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have contact. First contact. The moon is now over the sun slightly. You can see it there in the bottom right corner. Small bite been taken out, and now it's just a matter of time. And things are going to change rather drastically in the next little while. He says as the sun gets covered up by cloud again. So, any case, We'll have maybe we'll have somebody join us. Maybe not. We'll have to see. But until I find out, we're just going to sit here and enjoy the show. And it's going to be some interesting effects that you're going to want to watch for as totality gets closer. One of the things that we're going to see is it won't seem to go very dark very quickly at first, until the moon actually does cover up the sun. Once the moon, you will see some changes, of course, but it's not going to be as much of a change as you expect at first, until the dramatic moments really start to take place. I can't even see it myself. These glasses are too dim, which is an interesting little. It's just not there. Well, yeah, that explains it, because it's completely obscured by cloud. And we'll just sit here, be watching the eclipse as time passes. That was an interesting. Must have been a little bug landed on the lens of my camera there. But in any case, it does take a little while before things really start to get rolling, because of the very simple fact that we're dealing with cosmological time, which travels in its own pace, I guess. Now, if you want to, there's apparently some sunspots as well, although I don't know how lucky we're going to get in seeing those. Ooh, more flies. Unfortunately, this is one of the risks of having to be outside. You get bothered by bugs. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm adjusting the magnification a little bit. Hopefully we'll get a nice view any moment now. As you can see, once again, gone back to cloud. So I've completely lost the sun on my bigger feed here. So I'll have to see if we can find it again in just a second. And once I find it again, obviously I'll switch over so we can actually see things again. It's going to get brighter again in just a few moments, I suspect. There it is, I think. Very nice day of staring at clouds here in southern Ontario. Of course, if you do want to chat with me, you can either join me on Rumble or YouTube, one of those two sites, because I'm streaming on both. Well and truly And of course, I'm on Locals as well. Stephen Britton at Locals, or stephenbritton.locals.com, where you can join in the fun there. It's gotten a bit darker now, so we've got nothing to see at the few moments here, so we'll have to just hold tight, and with a bit of luck, we'll have the sun come back out a little bit. Hopefully, Mother Nature is going to cooperate, and so hopefully Mother Nature is going to cooperate, and we'll have some sun again in just a few moments here. So we'll have to see. What I'm doing is, you can see that I'm trying to get the camera pointing back at the sun, and I've completely lost where it is because, well, it's covered by cloud. But I've picked a really good spot here because there's nothing around. There's nobody here. So, well, we're just going to have to wait, because right now we have a very, very nice view of the clouds. That's why I've taken the camera off the screen here, because there's just nothing to see at this moment. Right. This is what the sky looks like. There's just nothing to see. No. Should be noticeably getting dimmer in a few. Oh, hey! Over there, the direction that the clouds are coming from. We'll just move the camera a little bit. You can see it is a nice blue sky over there, and that's coming this way. And hopefully that will have arrived in time for the greatest show on earth, because that's where the fun is really going to begin. If you want to look over there, it's all clear sky over there. So hopefully that's going to come our way. Once we find the sun again. So bear with me while I adjust the camera and get this working here. As I said, I'm not really that talkative because there's not really much going on, much to see, and there's virtually nobody in the chat right now. Right now, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Apparently, the live stream has ended on Locals, and I don't know why. We'll have to set up another one. Bear with me another moment here. I fix this. Since I already am live, it's going to be fairly straightforward. Oh, looks like it's live. Looks like it's accepting the feed. And we've got yet another beautiful shot of the clouds. All right, doesn't look like it's going to work. All right. Well, a little frustrating because I know that I had this live stream up and running. And so I don't know why I can't add. I'll do it like this then. All right. Yeah, okay. Now we're good. So we'll just get this done. And we're back on locals. Yay. Let's see if we can find that sun again. Should be able to see it. Kind of surprised that I can't, actually. So somewhere up in there in the sky is the sun. And you think I can see it? There it is. It's there somewhere anyway. In any event, it's just a matter of time until we're able to find the sun again with the camera. And when that happens, we can have all kinds of fun giving your eyes a good time. And right now, it's completely obscured by cloud again. This, again, there's what I can see in the sky. So you haven't got very much to see at this moment in time. So not much happening, not much going on. But there will be. Let's bring up and I'm going to bring in another feed here. I'm going to be watching a feed while we're talking here.
Oh, $5.
Oh, down in Texas, they've got a gorgeous total eclipse going on. So So we've got a gorgeous cloudy day here while the sun is almost completely covered in Texas. Congratulations to Joe Scott. He's got a great show going on. And I've got a bit of a bust because we've got nothing. But it's going to break up any time now because over there, that whole open spot is getting closer. So we're going to have to hope and pray that Mother Nature does her thing and we get a gorgeous solar eclipse here with just at the right moment. Because right now, there's not much to see. There's not much going on. It's just the moon is gradually covering up the sun, and that's really all that there is. Oh, you can actually see it through the clouds. There it is. And because it's cloudy, before your eyes adjust, you can actually catch a glimpse of it, but I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend that you take all appropriate precautions, because the last thing you want to do is damage your eyes just to get a view of an eclipse. Especially since you don't know exactly when the cloud is going to clear enough that you can actually see it. So be extremely careful if you do decide to have a peek. Better yet, make sure you've got those eclipse glasses handy and just look at it through the glasses to protect your eyes. You can see it better anyway if you do. There it is. No wonder it's right down near the bottom. It's noticeable now. Oh, what a beautiful view of nothing. And now you got a very nice, beautiful view of two plugs on a power bar. So here we go. We've got sun coming through the clouds. We've got the glasses on the camera. We will get this sorted out in just a few moments. So once again, now we've got the technical difficulties going on, because this camera is just the glasses in this phone are just the wrong size with each other. And there it is. There it is. There it is. The moon is definitely covering up about, I'm going to say that's probably about 1/4 of the sun is covered right now. And things are starting to happen. We definitely have an eclipse happening here. And we might just be lucky, my friends. once you get the angle all set up properly with this, stupid phone. But 3 minutes after 2 is when it started. 3 after 2, and it's about 1/4 covered now. In the sky. Okay, so do that. I've got it up on the screen here. And if you come over here, you will be live with me on YouTube. Why? That's coming this way, though. The full eclipse is going to be at around 3:15 local time. And let's have a look at here. Here we are down in, I'm now watching they've got about 2 minutes away in Texas. I've got on the screen here. Hello, YouTube community. The hands and legs that you can currently see are that of my father. So.
Hello, brother. Hello, father.
And we definitely have an eclipse happening.
Oh, yes, so we do.
And it's dazzling the camera now on my phone.
Mother's complaining.
I hear.
You might be lucky, Stephen.
I might be. With a bit of luck and a bit of cooperation from Mother Nature, 1 minute and 7 seconds to totality if you're in Texas right now. Yeah, well, Texas is, they started before we did too. So while I get this lined up again, rumble. And we're getting there because as of right now, oh, we have totality in Texas, my friends. Can't see a thing. There it is. Yes. You want to see what it looks like? I've got it up on the screen. So here's a thing to put in the comments. When was your first experience with an eclipse? Whether it was a total, partial, a lunar, whatever. When was your first experience with a solar eclipse? Because that's always an interesting question to ask. I wonder. What is so funny, mother? Oh. Oh, they can see me mucking around.
So he started off by saying, "You look so amused sitting in the pilot." And so I said, "We knew you were watching," and there was with a smiley icon. "Smile, you're on candid camera," I said. He said, "I was alerted that you guys arrived 2 hours ago. Stephen needs a hat." Sarah was right about the bald spot. It's as bright as the eclipse will be.
How nice of him to share that, and how nice of you to share that with the world. There's the eclipse in Texas right there.
Oh dear. I just had
Where is that camera?
on the corner of the shed. You can't see you from here.
Oh.
Or at least I don't think you can. It's pointing out across the driveway, and I think he did it because somebody stole the change out of his vehicle.
Oh, that was nice of
He
them.
didn't do anything to the vehicle.
Mm. There we go. We have an eclipse again. So interesting that. We got we got sun flare, we got prominences on the eclipse in Texas. You can see there. Oh, there it is. Let's make it a bit bigger. All right, so we're approaching the halfway point here. And they got the diamond ring in Texas. And Texas has a diamond ring. So, how about that? We've got a gorgeous eclipse happening, and it looks like we're going to have a beautiful eclipse here. Hopefully the clouds will cooperate for the next 45 minutes or so. So of course, once the eclipse is over, then we'll be ending the stream almost immediately. Of course, once the eclipse is over, then we'll be ending the stream almost immediately. So, and we've lost the sun again behind more cloud. I've got another selfie stick here. Maybe that'll give us a better result than the other one. So we'll give it a try anyway. The thing about the selfie sticks is, while I'm not a huge fan of selfie sticks, they certainly can come in handy for solar eclipses because they hold the camera steady. But as of now, whoops, at this moment, you're going to start to see some really interesting and weird effects as the eclipse progresses. Because it's already noticeably dimmer out here in the that was a silly thing to do, in the outside. So it's noticeably dimmer. The shadows are going to start to become more well defined because the surface of light coming from the sun is getting smaller. So what happens is because you get less light coming, more of a point source coming from the sun, you're going to get more distinct shadows, and the temperature is also going to start to drop very shortly. And then the animals around in the environment are also going to start doing strange things. There you go. Now we have an eclipse, as you can see. So the sun is gradually getting obscured. Things are going to start to get really interesting really quickly in the next little while. No point in taking any photograph there. So, and gradually going to get more and more incredible just as time passes. I'm still live. Anything you say can and will be heard.
Oh, yes, it is.
Old people. Alrighty. So yes, I am still here. I still exist. And we're just doing our thing. There's not much happening right now, except that the sun is gradually, as you can, well, it's blatantly obvious. So we'll just keep going here. And as we hit totality, then we'll really start to discuss a few things that are well and truly worth talking about. So, and yes, I do keep looking away because, well, I know where the camera is. It's just such an incredible experience today that I don't really know where to look. So, and we've lost the sun again. Keeps going behind clouds. And at long last, we've got the camera feed working. We've got the sun camera doing its thing. We've got the eclipse happening. And, well, we're just going to have to keep going here. We zoom out just slightly here. I would adjust the camera settings here because I've just changed the zoom, so it's messed around with the exposure level. Of course, it's not going to cooperate now. But gradually, bear with me while I adjust the brightness and contrast settings to compensate for the change. And locals has dropped my feed again. Oh, fine. Locals, goodbye. So we'll just get this all fixed up here, and then we'll continue our discussion as the eclipse progresses. This is Stephen Britton here in Southern Ontario for the total eclipse of the sun, live on YouTube, Rumble, and anywhere else. Now, here's a really interesting thing to notice. This is a political statement. The government of the Niagara region has declared a state of emergency for the period of the eclipse, as if for some stupid reason they think the world is going to end. Naturally, the world is not going to end on the eclipse, but they've decided that the world is going to end, and they've declared a state of emergency. Maybe they're concerned that there's going to be all kinds of riots and dogs and cats living together and all kinds of other crazy things happening if it turns out to be cloudy here at the point of the eclipse. But turns out highly unlikely to be the case. People are so silly that, and this is, after all, here in Canada, people are pretty much relaxed and laid back kinds of folks. So we're not going to get any riots and looting, and people tend to wait their turn in line even when they don't have to. So, and there we go. And we're losing the sun just a little bit, but it's going to brighten up again. And we've got another 18 minutes or so until totality here in Southern Ontario. I can give you an exact moment here. Totality should occur (3:12) roughly. Actually, we're going to change that a bit. Totality should be at 11 it should be at 3:18 p.m., which is in another 18 minutes. 18 minutes to go. And with a bit of luck, that cloud right there will not be in front of the sun. With a bit of luck, that cloud will not be in front of the sun in 18 minutes. Because that would be really, really, really sad. But we are getting there. We're definitely now well past the halfway point, and now is when the clouds, if you want to look, if you look at the shadows, now it's starting to get noticeably dimmer here. It is definitely noticeably dimmer. The you're not going to see it on the screen there because the camera is being adjusted, of course. But it is noticeably dimmer. The shadows are more defined at this point, and it's just like the sun is just almost sick because we're not getting as much of the sun hitting the earth as we did before. So as the moon obscures the sun more and more, the shadows are going to become more well defined. The temperature is about to start dropping as well. And we're going to drop around 10 degrees Fahrenheit in a span of a few minutes as the eclipse progresses. And then we'll get about 3 minutes of an amazing view we'll give our eyes a good time. Oh, apparently there's a bunch of people at the airstrip next door to the property here, and they've all vanished. So the current working theory apparently is that the aliens in their flying saucer, without me noticing, have come down and, well, maybe they've all been beamed up or something. That's the working theory anyway. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's probably aliens. Because it couldn't be something logical like they all went inside or something. I didn't even notice that there were people over there, to be honest. Ah, well, this is Southern Ontario. Ah, they're probably all Liberal Party of Canada voters. Anyways, well, we are getting closer. Another 10 minutes, make that 15 minutes now. 15 minutes to the eclipse. And now you can definitely feel the temperature dropping. There's an actual chill in the air now. And the sun is it's most definitely noticeable because the shadows are much more defined, and just the amount of solar energy on, like, the amount of sun hitting my hand has reduced. The birds are still tweeting away. Birds are still quite happy, actually. It's just a matter of time at this point. And there's another mosquito. That's the big thing that we want to worry about, the mosquitoes. We don't want the mosquitoes to get in the way and to bother us. Because mosquitoes are evil. Mosquitoes do not deserve to live. But we are getting closer. And we're not going to be, once the eclipse is done, like once the totality period has ended, I'm going to be pretty much ending the stream at that point, because there's no point in continuing, because it's just going to get brighter and brighter and brighter. And then once the eclipse is done, then it'll just continue on as per normal. But of course, you never hear that. There's absolutely going to be no sound associated with it because of course there is no sound in space anyway, and we're looking at time, light, and of course what you can see on the screen here is actually something that happened 1.5 seconds ago, because it takes about 1.5 seconds for light to get from the moon to Earth. And oh yes, it is definitely, now there is definitely an effect on the wildlife, because now the mosquitoes are out. The mosquitoes are out, as if it was dusk. But as in the last few moments here before the eclipse occurs, we hit totality anyway. Oh, there's a flock of seagulls out in the field. I don't know what seagulls do at night.
Seagulls.
They be, ha ha ha. Yes, they see gulls. Okay. They do what seagulls do, which is fly in, squawk a lot, shit all over you, and then they fly off, just like management. So, in any event, we are getting ever and ever closer. Another 12 minutes now. 12 minutes! And we will have a total eclipse of the sun occurring. Well, we already do have a total eclipse of the sun occurring. It's just not total yet. There's going to be another interesting effects to be watching for as well, which we'll talk through. You'll be able to see the corona of the sun. We'll be able to, hopefully we'll get a beautiful diamond ring effect. Gotcha. One less, fewer mosquitoes to be hatched in a little while here. And but it's most definitely noticeable now. And then you'll get, hopefully we'll be able to see some Bailey's beads, which are the last few rays of the sun bouncing through, traveling through the canyons and mountains of the rims of craters on the moon. And then we'll hit totality. Totality is where we really get a good time with our eyes. Our eyes get a really good time through the total eclipse phase, simply because the total portion, you can see all kinds of pieces of the sun that you don't normally get to see. Now, these last few minutes, it's definitely, now it is seriously getting noticeably dimmer out here. The shadows are still as well defined as ever. In fact, even more so. I'm going to bring the other camera over and I'll show you on my desktop surface here. You can see now how the shadows are much more well defined, simply because we're dealing with a point source of light. You can see maybe on the table here or maybe not, I don't know. There it is. But yes, you can definitely see on the table here how the shadows have become much more well defined. And there you go. There's a point source, and that's because we're dealing with more of a point source of light than what you're used to seeing, which is more of a disk by the sun. And there it is, the sun in a very nice, beautiful crescent, which is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. As we approach the moment of amazement. Have you noticed that it's getting colder? It is noticeably colder. Yeah. Yeah. And shadows, of course, are much more distinct and well defined because we're dealing with a point source. Normally you get like a disk of light. So any moment now. And we got about 8 minutes. Yep, 8 minutes. Assuming that my computer's clock is correct. Yeah, you get about 3 minutes. Just under 3 minutes. How long is it? The maximum. Yeah, 15, 3:50, 18 and 57 seconds. Don't. 23 to, yeah, we're going to have about exactly 3 minutes of total, assuming the clouds cooperate. But we're almost there, my friends. 7 minutes. And gradually, it gets darker. Okay. And now, and apparently there's 5 minutes to go now. But it is, and it's even colder now. It's very much colder. And there's an airplane flying around somewhere. Any moment now, we will have 4 minutes. It is most definitely noticeable now because the very, very fact I'm not going to worry. I was going to get out the binoculars, but no point because I've got a beautiful view of the sun through my computer's camera. So anyways, any moment now, we'll get the Bailey's beads, we'll get the diamond ring, number 1. And then we'll get 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So we'll get Bailey's beads, then we'll get the diamond ring before the Bailey's beads. And then we'll get the Bailey's beads, and then we'll get the amazing view of the corona. And we'll just adjust the brightness and contrast here. Colors are starting to get muted, but simply because we are dealing with and it's clouding over just at the wrong time. Well, that's going to just suck bones. It's clouding over. Precisely the wrong moment. Look at that. What bad luck is that? We've lost the sun just as we want it to be there. I said diga. Mother Nature. The lights have come on. I can still see it. But it is, and it is definitely now, at this point in time, you can hear, I can hear all the birds. The birds are making one heck of a lot of noise out in the field. You listen out in the field. Listen to the birds. We've got it. We've got an eclipse. And there it is, my friends. We have achieved totality. We have a total eclipse of the sun happening. And nothing to see because it is so incredibly dark. But what I do want to point out, this is amazing. This is the amazing factor of the eclipse. Let's transition. Now, I am going to pick up this camera here because we are now in a total eclipse. And what you can see here is I'm going to point out this horizon. Around the horizon, all the way around, it is 360 degrees of sunset. And for the next 53 minutes, that is what it is going to be, because we are now in the middle of the shadow of the sun being obscured by the moon. Fortunately, it's been covered up by cloud just at the wrong moment. But if we're lucky, yep, we could still get the odd glimpse of it. But this is actually, in some ways, this is actually more interesting than it was when I saw the eclipse in, oh, hey, have a look now. Look now. Look now. There it is. There is the corona around the sun. You can actually see the gas coming off of the sun. Have a look. Before the clouds cover it up again. You're going to have a look at that. You can see flares. You can see the corona coming up off the sun. And if you're lucky, you might be able to even see some solar flares. This is what the most amazing, this is called giving your eyes a good time. And there is a solar flare happening right at the bottom of the sun. And another couple of minutes and we're going to lose it again. Then we'll get the diamond, we'll get the Bailey's beads, we'll get the diamond rings, and the eclipse will be over. The birds in the field behind me, in front of me here, are going absolutely crazy. Let's switch over there. Oh, all the traffic has stopped as well. And the birds in the field are just making an incredible noise. So, but now, because you can see the shadow moving that way. It's still sunset, 360 degrees here. But, oh, we've got the diamond ring. We've got the diamond ring. And I've just knocked my camera over. And that, my friends, is the total eclipse of the sun here, Southern Ontario. Mission accomplished. And it was much different than my previous experience because the sun has the whole effect. It was a lot slower this time. The result being, it went dim and it went bright again in a much quicker time frame this last time. This was much slower. But we have just accomplished what I set out to accomplish here when I came to Southern Ontario to live stream a total eclipse of the sun with absolutely 0 viewers for the entire stream. What do you know? Anyways, my friends, that's it. I am going to call it a day, and I'm going to tear all this stuff down. I really hope everyone had as good of an experience as I did. I absolutely love these. And that's it. That's all, my friends. This is Steve Britton coming to you live from Southern Ontario, Cayuga, signing off.